Hi, I am Beth Z. I am your nerdy best friend, or I hope to be your nerdy best friend after all this happens. And this is really exciting. So, this is hands on. I'm not going to do a lot of an intro, but I'm not going to do some other things as well. First off, I'm not going to tell you anything about ChatGPT, how it came to be, what it is. Look it up, y'all. It's been around for almost 3 years now. This session is about how to use it. Why did I focus on ChatGPT? Well, because it was the first one that really came out in this category. It remains one of the best and it has a lot of features. Now, a lot of these features can be found on a lot of other things, but I needed to focus on one so that everybody could be on the same page and really do the hands-on. What we're going to be doing today is I am going to share a worksheet with you. And this is a working worksheet. So as we go through and do exercises, we're going to reveal the exercises. So part 1, make ChatGPT your partner. Y'all, almost every single ChatGPT or any of these AI 101 starts with, you should know how to prompt. Prompting is so good. And to tell you the truth, I've never really prompted very well. I just kind of fake it. So here's how I fake it. I turn ChatGPT into a chat partner. So instead of us trying to master the first prompt, my goal is to teach you how to chat with it. Everybody, hands on your computer. All right. We are all going to start a new chat and then paste one of those prompts, whichever ones you want. Paste one of those prompts and start a new chat and get going. It's going to take about 3 minutes to do it. This is a hands-on part. Press pause right here and get to work. Now we're going to take it a little bit further because one of the things we know about ChatGPT, again, especially if you're not a very good prompter, which I'm not, is that it is best to ask more questions and it is best to question the answers. Continuing with the same chat, try some of these prompts. Ask it, is that the best you can do? Ask it what questions should I be asking to make the most out of the conversation? Do follow-up questions, press it, prod it, question it. Sometimes I get answers and I'm like, that doesn't seem right. So I say, hey, that doesn't seem right. I really do want you to try out these extra prompts. You'll see what a big difference it might make. So pause again. Next section, we're going to be talking about ChatGPT settings and personalization. If you look here, we've got a 3-minute exercise. Start a new chat. That is important because we're going to be doing all kinds of different things. So every time we're talking, start a new chat. And then paste one of these prompts into ChatGPT. What's the most important question I should be asking myself that I am currently not? What's a mindset shift that would help me achieve better? So I'm going to copy one of those and I'm going to do it, but you do it. There. Of course. I am going to do a new chat and go on with the next topic. All right. So it says, try a season's not being, some weeks need a personal sprint. Does this have to do with me or just in general? All right. If you look here, for the prompt that I did was, what was a mindset shift that would help me? And then it gave me an immediate answer, which made me suspicious that it wasn't really thinking about me. And we're going to get into why it would think about me in just a minute, because you're going to think about you. And so it says, try a season's not be a balance beam thing. And so it gave me some advice. And I'm like, that was too fast. Does it have to do with me or just in general? And it said, this is for you, Beth Z, your situation with your husband's treatment, your own health, and juggling speaking gigs, make plastic, blah, blah, blah. Try this mindset tweak. So ChatGPT knows me. Now, when you answer in the chat for me, when you got your answer, did it feel generic or did it feel tailored to you? A couple of ways to get around the generic. First off, ask it if it's generic and say things like, are you Does this have to do with me or just in general? The second thing is, especially if you're new to ChatGPT, you can say, wait a minute, I want it to my specific situation. Ask me a series of questions so that you can tailor that question to me more personally, and ask it just like we did in the first one, to ask questions. This exercise sets us up for the next major part, which is checking your ChatGPT settings. This is so critical. All right, down in the bottom left of your ChatGPT, you have a button that will have all of the settings that you need in here. Now, my ChatGPT is the Teams, now it's called business version. It's a little bit more expensive. It lets my manager and I have one account, and it automatically has data protections and some other things that some of the other ones don't have. The regular one is $20 a month. I highly recommend that one over this one. And then there are some that are really expensive. So mine may look a little bit different, like the workspace settings and adding teammates. That's a little bit different than what you're probably going to have. But let's first go into settings before we get into personalization, because there's some really important things I want you to look at in here. First thing I want you to look at is data controls, because ChatGPT is very tricky about how it asks you if you want controlled data or not. So the question about it using your data is called improve the model for everyone, ? That means if you say, I want to improve the model for everyone, that means that your output is taken to the world and thought about by all these models and using it to train new models. So everything you're producing can be used. You don't want that. Improve the model for everyone? No. Change in data controls, turn that off. Remote browser data. That means that let agents, you may not have agent mode if you have the free version. Let agent modes remote browser reuse cookies between sessions. That's for making the agent work better. We're going to get to that in just a minute. Security, multi-factor authentication. Oops, mine should be on. I don't have it on. Sorry about that, because I always tell people to turn it on. So turn yours on. I haven't turned mine on because it's a pain because of some of the things I do. Anyway, Apple Intelligence, do you want to have it there? Some of the features that are not available with the free version of ChatGPT might be available in Apple on your phone through the Apple Intelligence if you connect them. So you may get some of the advanced features through Siri that you can't do here. If you don't have the Apple Intelligence setting, you might not have an Apple Intelligence phone, but you can probably go to secure sign in with ChatGPT and like figure out where it is. Like I have a 16, they just come out with a 17. I think 15, 16, and 17 have the Apple Intelligence. The other ones don't. And you might not have connected those things. All right, so now I'm going to go to personalization. If you got very generic answers, or if you feel like it doesn't know you, here's how you can let it know you if you want it to. Enable customization. Customize how ChatGPT responds to you. Learn more. So you can tell it to not talk too much, right? Or talk more. ChatGPT personality. Now, mine is default. Cheerful and adaptive. You can do critical and sarcastic. You can do efficient and blunt, listener, nerd, right? You can have it be different people when it's talking to you. And then custom instructions. So short answer first, numbered steps when helpful, ask one clarifying question if needed, avoid M dashes and the Oxford comma. I hate the Oxford comma. I don't believe in the Oxford comma. And so I tell it, do not use the Oxford comma. Do not use M dashes, because everybody knows that those longer dashes that they see showed people that it's written by AI. So I'm like, don't do it. And ChatGPT should not be a yes man, because a lot of times ChatGPT will just tell you, like, just verify your ideas. So you can put that in there and make sure it's doing more of what you want. And then you've got some things that you can just click on: pragmatic, corporate, outside the box, whatever. And then what do you want? What do you want it to call you? What's your occupation? More about you. You can put more things in there. And then you can save memories. And you can tell it what to save. Even when you're writing along, you can say, please remember that I have 5 cats. Okay, I have 6 cats. Please remember that I have cats, or whatever. You can say things to it so that, please remember I work at this company. Please remember that blah, blah, blah. I prefer this. And it will put this in the memory. So in the memory, it's got all my memories. Refer to Beth Z, not Beth Zsmith. When asking long questions, I want them asked one at a time, because sometimes it just says all these things. I have a Stream Deck and a Flex Bar, and was looking to that. And it's taken some of the notes from some of my sessions. So you can add memories as you go. You can delete memories. Like, a couple of them were really dumb, and I went back in here and I deleted them. Reference record history. Do you want that? Do you want it to go back to your chats and reread things so that it'll answer? Change these things right now. This is your hands-on. Do you want advanced voice? Do you want Canvas? I don't really like Canvas, but I left it on there. Do you want code? I don't code. I don't even know how to code. I don't know what I would code, but I can have it. Do you want web search? The answer is yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So now that you've enabled some of these things, you've talked about things, go ahead and do that right now. All right. Going back to our list. Part 3, custom GPTs. All right, so in the early days of ChatGPT, it was just a gaping maw. Isn't that a thing? A gaping maw? A big old hole where it said, do things. And you're like, what things? I don't even know what things. I don't know what's going on with the things. There's nothing that I know. And ChatGPT said, okay, just like Apple way back in the day developed apps that had specific functions, ChatGPT said, well, why don't we develop apps that have specific functions? That way, they don't need to know that you should be able to do some architecture tools. Somebody will create an app that you can access that can do that. So if you could uncover our exercise, this may be a few minutes longer. There we go. So I'm going to demo for you where to find the custom GPTs and how to make one, and then we're going to do a hands-on. All right, so I'm coming back to here. I'm going to go new chat, just because I like new chat. In here, in your little work area there, your little sidebar, you're going to have something called GPTs. Free or paid, you have GPTs. Okay, you're going to click on GPTs. Now, 2 things are going to happen in GPTs. Number 1 is you're going to see tens of thousands of GPTs that are just sitting there waiting for you to use. So let's explore those for just a minute. I was scrolling down here and I found some really interesting ones. Astrology, I guess I'm not very interested in that. Scholar GPT, enhance your research. Fitness, play along with me, y'all. Come on in here. Humanize, these are a bummer because they will let your kids who are writing essays with ChatGPT come in here, throw it in a humanizer, and make it so that they're not detectable as ChatGPT. Oops. Teachers have a really tough time. Then there's some by ChatGPT, and I find these very interesting. One of them is called Monday, a personality experiment. I have no idea what it is. You may not like it. It may not like you. Kind of scary. Data analyst, drop any files. All of these are capabilities of ChatGPT, but instead of you having to know that it does data analysis, you click on this one and it'll walk you through that, and it's made for doing that. Professional writing coach, this is the old Dolly one. You don't need that one. But I love this one. I just discovered it. ChatGPT use cases for work. It's just one that's made to help you discover different ways you can use ChatGPT at work. And you just start it, right? So let's get started and share your job and company. I'm a professional speaker. All right. That's all this does is it comes in here and figures out this very particular thing. So while that's working, because apparently it takes a long time, I'm going to come in here and look at others. There are tons of them. Productivity, research, you can search for, like some people are like, I need something for sales, right? I want sales help. So it will search and find things to help you with a sales coach, sales relationship GPT, Salesforce Sidekick, all of these, and they're just sitting there. Now, some of them are connected to tools that cost money, and others are free, and you can just use them. So photorealistic image and video generator, see that one? You just throw a picture in there and it's going to help you generate another picture or something like that. They also can have ratings, all kinds of ways you can see things on there. All right. If you have the free version of ChatGPT, you get to see all of them and you get to use all of them, but you can't make them. If you have a paid version, you can make your own. So here's how you would make your own. I'm going to click create. Now, the easiest way to create it is to use a ChatGPT tool, chat type world, to create it for you. So you can start saying, I would like to be able to do something, and then you start chatting with it, and it will build it as you go. Or you can click on configure and name it and do what have you. So to create, I want to create a custom GPT that will identify different cat breeds from a picture. So that's all I want to do. And I'm asking it to create that for me. And then it's going to think about it. It's going to give me some suggestions. And as it goes, it's going to start configuring things and figuring it out. And as you play with it, it's going to grow it and define it, and you can change it, and it's going to make an icon for you. It's going to do all kinds of things. So what I want you to do now is, those of you who have the free version, I want you to try out some of the ChatGPT custom GPTs that you can see. If you have the paid version, I want you to go ahead and make one for yourself, or you can just go around and look at the other things. So here you have it. It did my first draft. Do you want to call it cat breeds broader? Do you want to do that? You can try the preview, whatever, that kind of thing. It's going to start walking me through the process. And as you can see here, it already started writing things in for me. If you have the free version, you will not see a button that says make your own, create. If you have the paid version, you will see it. While you're doing that, if you're just paying attention to me or whatever, I want to show you a couple of them that I like. I created this one called Pet Tail Crafter. And what this one is for the volunteers at a shelter. You know how they do those cute little stories for pets who need homes? So I created one that will ask, you just upload a picture of a pet. This is an elephant and a keyboard. You upload a picture of an animal that needs adopting. It looks at that picture and asks you questions, and then it'll write a little story that you can use to say, please adopt this wonderful elephant. Let's see. Look at our newest coworker, a little genius. Let's get started with step one. Let's see. This is Fred. He's 29 years old. Big old elephant. Huge. Gray with stripes. Flatulent. So there we go. What's his personality like? He's funny and silly and flatulent. There you go. All right, and it gives me this little story that I can paste into there, or it can ask me a thing, or I can do a letter from Fred or something like that. And I created this one in about a half an hour to help out charities. All right. We'll do it there. One of our speaker friends, Susan Frew, created something called Thriftinista. I love this. I take it to thrift stores, pull it out at thrift stores, and you upload a picture of like something you got at a consignment store, and you say, this, is it a good deal for this number? Part 4, projects. Okay, this one will be a quick little thing here, and we will unveil. All right. If you looked at my chats, and here's my history, they're just all sitting there. I've got hundreds of them, and they're not organized. Well, I had never investigated the new project category. So let me click on new project, and y'all click on it with me. New project means that I can group things into different folders. So with projects, you can create folders for different topics, but it's more than that. So if I do something about writing, okay, create project. And actually I can rename it to content creation for programs. Because I use ChatGPT all the time to run through ideas for different programs. So it's creating that project. And what it's doing now is I can add files for this project or for this folder. And so I could give a whole bunch of examples of the content I've created and images and things like that and color codes and things like that I can put in here so that every time I'm talking in this category, I can keep these there. You can add your files and you can add different things in here so that it will customize it for you. And you can add instructions for just that area, right? So let's say you have stuff for your Girl Scout troop, or let's say you have stuff for work or this different one project or something. You can create these different areas that only pull from that information there. So that is something I haven't been using, but you can play around with projects. Hands on. Pause, please. Part 5, scheduled tasks. I'll be honest with you, I haven't found this very useful. I'd love to see in the chat other people who have found this useful, but I haven't found it very useful. But it's very easy to do. 2-minute exercise. We need to just unveil that. Ta-da! The 2-minute exercise is, all you have to do is start with a prompt like, something like, let's see, new chat. Send me or get daily updates about the latest ChatGPT news every morning. All right? And so it is going to schedule. That's it. It's going to schedule this to come to me every day. This morning, I set up one when I was trying this out, or it was yesterday, for a word of the day, because my husband and I are always coming up with these funny words. So I have it send me now a word of a day every day to my email, and I can come in and check, and it stays in the same thread. So I will look here. Let's see, word of the day. I set it up. I said, every morning, send me a challenging word of the day. And then that is the task. It set it up. I don't have to set it up as a task itself. Can you give me a sample now? So you can still talk to it. And there is my sample. And then this morning, I got this in the mail. Now, I did not get, it said it was going to give me a 1-question quiz. It did not. It just gave me obdurate, which I think is a fun word. So it sent me this morning. I shared it with my husband. We had a laugh. All right, part 6. Now for this one, I'm going to go to my phone, and we are going to do this a little bit different. If you have the ChatGPT app on your phone and you have the paid version, this is for the paid version, y'all, and I warned you, there's some things on the paid version that you don't get other places. and I'm just going to show you things here. So let me stop sharing my screen. All right. Let me see if I can do this. Well, I can do it, but it's not going to work well. Okay. So I have ChatGPT on my phone right here. Now, on that side, there is a little black button with little lines. That's audio. So I'm going to push that. And the voice ChatGPT comes up. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, doing pretty well here. And no worries, I'll keep things nice and short and throw in a little clever humor when it fits. If I need to clarify anything, I'll just ask. So let's have some fun.
So, ChatGPT, hold on just a second. I need to explain myself. We're in an audience. So, here is the deal about him saying that. And we've been talking about it because he's saying that because I told him he was too chatty and then he needed to cut down on the number of words and just keep it real. And so now, whenever he starts talking to me, he says, hey, I'm going to keep it real. That's pretty funny. So, here we have this. And then I am going to push this other little button, which is a video button.
Totally got it, Beth Z. I appreciate the context. And hey, keeping it real is the name of the game. So we'll keep things nice and crisp. And if you're hitting the video button, I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. Who do you see?
Well, I definitely see you, Betsy, and I see those big, awesome orange glasses behind you. They are very on brand and definitely keeping it fun.
Oh, thank you very much. Hey, I was wondering, do you see this pin right here?
I sure do. That sparkly nerd pin is pretty hard to miss and definitely suits your style. It's like the perfect finishing touch to the whole look.
Well, do you know where I can get more of these?
Well, I can't say I have a secret nerd pin emporium in my back pocket, but I'd happily help you track down some online. Just let me know and we'll do a quick search.
Well, okay, hold on to that for a second. Do you see this bookshelf over here? That bookshelf?
Yep, I can see that bookshelf over there. It's looking pretty well stocked, and I do spot some splashes of orange there too. Definitely a thing.
Oh, thank you so much. Do you have any suggestions about how I can kind of clean it up or make it look a little bit better on film?
Absolutely. Quick tip first, maybe just group some of those orange items together so you've got a nice pop of color all in one spot. Second, if there's anything you don't use often, you just tuck it away out of sight. And hey, as long as it feels like you, a little bit of organized chaos, never a bad thing.
Are you saying I'm a little chaotic?
Just a tiny bit, but honestly, it adds character. So no worries at all.
Thanks, I think. Okay, I gotta go. Bye. I talk to mine all the time. Believe you me. It's so much fun. It's kind of sad. All right, so your 3-minute exercise. For this one, it is on your phone only. It is not on the app on the web, or even if you've downloaded it to your desktop, you have to have it on your phone. First, you're going to have the audio button. So you hit the audio button first, and when you hit the audio button, you get the audio. Ooh. And then after you hit the audio, the camera button appears. All right, let's go to part 7. I'm going to share my screen again. Part 7 is agentic AI, and I probably should have done this earlier because it takes so long. But most of this is going to be demo because it takes so long. But first, before I get started with this, somebody give me a recipe that is like really obscure. Like I did Hungarian goulash before, but give me a recipe that I may never have heard of. Oh my gosh, I got to do blueberry boy bait. Is that a thing, blueberry boy bait? Really? I am so afraid of that, but it's a thing. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to come over here to ChatGPT. We're going to go to a new chat. I am going to enable agent mode. And agent mode will go out and do things for me. Okay? So, agent mode, I'm going to say, I want to prepare blueberry boy bait recipe. I have no idea what it is. Please find a recipe and go to DoorDash and put all the ingredients and get all the ingredients. Okay, so agentic AI does things for you. It actually opens up real web pages by itself. We're going to watch this for just a couple of seconds. In the meantime, while we're watching this, Jess, if you could undo the other instructions for the fundamentals, because we're going to watch this. I'm going to show you a couple of other examples. There you go. So if you have the paid version, try out Agentic AI on something like this or whatever you want, and you can explore the Agentic AI. So if you watch this, it is insane. You can see what it's thinking about. Go to DoorDash. So it found blueberry boy bait on Southern Living. Had to be a Southern dish. I used to work for Southern Living magazine, y'all. Had to be a Southern dish. Come on. And it is going to there. And it says the user needs to log into DoorDash for the order. And look at its reading its own information. All right, so I've got to come down here. And let's see. It says I have to log into DoorDash. And it is letting me control that window it had and letting me log in to DoorDash. All right, let me make sure I'm logged in because it can't log in for me. But you know what it can do? It can click one of those boxes that says, I am a human. So I'm going to say finish controlling. And now it's going to go back and find all those ingredients for me and put them in my cart. Now, you know what this does? This takes a long time. But it takes away what I call mental load, what other people call mental load. I wasn't the first person to do this, but mental load is the work you do besides the task you have. So have you ever had a family member, your family says, oh, let's go out to dinner. You pick a place. You know how long it takes you to pick a place? 45 minutes to pick a place. You look everything up. You find out when it's open. You find out who's allergic to what. You find out all these things. All these little things that go through your head, and 40 minutes later, maybe you picked a restaurant, and then you have to go run it by everybody, whatever. It takes forever. Mental load are all those little tasks you do, and the things you think about, and the things you have to take care of when you just have a small task to do. So, ChatGPT, Agentic Mode, and other Agentic AI tools will do things like that. In addition to this, it's still searching. It takes a long time. This one I did with Hungarian goulash. It worked for 15 minutes. And then it put it all in Instacart, and then it was a lot of money. And I was like, I'm not going to pay $60 to get Hungarian goulash things. So I said, wait, could you do DoorDash? And then it says, I did this yesterday, and then it says, go ahead and take over because you have to log in, and I didn't log in. But in addition to that, let me come over here to some of my history. I did a few more of these. I asked it to create content development task, I think. I asked it to create a PowerPoint about the data analysis of something. So, yep, it doesn't have it up here. But I asked it to create a PowerPoint. I tried out several things. If you go to a new chat and you turn on Agentic AI agent mode, it will give you some ideas like schedule an airport ride, find a creative Lego set under $60, research personal cooling solutions, book a premium economy flight, compile a spreadsheet comparing CO2 emissions, create a presentation on this. So it gives you some suggestions to get started on things. So big takeaway was you can use ChatGPT for everything. Well, kind of. That's why I wanted to start here. It's got a lot of features in it. Can it do my Christmas shopping for me? Yes, it can. And you can create a custom GPT to help you get gift recommendations, and then you can get agentic AI to go find those things that you want. Yeah, all these different things that are coming out. So we're down to the end of all of my lessons. We're down to the end of the programs. Again, I want you to come back to the very top of our list here. If you need more help, if you want more things, y'all, this book, please order it. It is full of ideas of ways you can use ChatGPT. I also have a few AI coaching packages that I'm offering at the half price of the regular one. And y'all, please leave me a LinkedIn recommendation and sign my husband's card. I appreciate you coming today. This is Beth Z, your nerdy best friend, saying, nerd on.